What's up, nosy neighbors? It's Jay Darnell. Listen, this is day 3 of the keto journey. This is my before and after. I have shown y'all, but if anybody is new, I lost that weight before. I'm going to lose it again a final time. And today we're making lasagna. You will not miss any noodles. This is totally keto. Y'all come on and join in on this meal. Listen, it calls for just beef, but I recommend using that sausage and that ground beef together. Italian sausage, ground beef. I use half and half to make a pound. And you're gonna saute that down. Now, I don't have one of them little squirty, squeezely, shizzly things. So I'm breaking that ground beef down and that sausage with my spatula. Break it down with what you got to break it down. Let it brown on one side and turn that thing over. And then we're gonna get some seasonings in there still because we wanna lay on these flavors. So we're gonna add to the ground beef and sausage complete seasoning. We're gonna add a little bit of that. We're gonna add some Tony saccharin. We're gonna add some of that. We're also gonna add onion powder and also garlic powder. Now, if you follow my first video, you know I was out of garlic powder. Child, I still ain't when they got it. We're gonna put some of this basil in there. Now I got that from the farmer's market. It's much better quality to me. This is Italian seasoning. We're gonna put quite a bit of that in there. So listen, season your food how you season your food. The seasoning ability comes from the ancestors, so I don't really know what to tell you. I use this marinara. I normally use Rayo's. A lot of people use Rayo's. This was lower in carbs, and it tastes really, really, really good. Now I didn't have the flame on here because, mind you, I'm doing this video. I'm multitasking. I gotta do this, I gotta do that. So I cut that off so it wouldn't dry out. And I'm going to go over here and start prepping for what would be the noodles of it. I'm using Chef Carmen, her knife. This is what it looks like on the inside. When I tell you this is a beautiful knife with that red velvet on the inside, baby, me personally, I ain't never ordered no knife and it came like this. It's really heavy duty. It really cuts really good. And if you're having those tough jobs, I would recommend using this knife. So I don't really need this for this, but I want to show you that it cuts with ease. Cut through the vegetables like butter. And when I have cut heavy and thick meats, it cuts through it so easily. And so it's really a good knife to have. Now, I wanted to try to make sure that I can see the size of these strips. And this was the zucchini, right? So, you know, I saw this or whatever and I thought maybe, okay, this is around the size I might want. And I began to cut them in that size. And now this glove comes with it, right? And it says that the glove will prevent you from getting cut or hurt. That's a lie. Put a number 77 in the chat if you know that's a lie. Don't rely on them gloves thinking that you ain't gonna get cut. The gloves is a lie. Baby, it comes with this little piece. Use that on that to cut that stuff up before you better cut your hand. Anyway, I was cutting it here, and I'm also gonna put some of my bloopers in the video as well because I could have edited the video otherwise, but I decided not to. Now I did not show where I cut my finger. It wasn't that bad, so I'm okay. But this is definitely a blooper. So what I realized is that when I was cutting these, I started out like with a lighter force towards them, and they were cutting perfectly. And as I pressed down a little more, I got this where it was getting ready to do spaghetti zucchini. I didn't want spaghetti zucchini. I wanted zucchini like this with those strips. So I went back in to get it right and put the mandolin on a different setting so it can cut it how I wanted to cut it and it be the thickness. Of course, I'm gonna cut the nipples back off. Now I would advise, it comes with this little thing to cut it with. Now I tried to put it on that thing and it wasn't doing right, so that's why I ended up using my hand. But future reference, I would use, even if that didn't work, I would use a fork or knife or something. Your hand is not it. So it is about the thickness that I wanted right here. And see, this is about where I went wrong. You see, I keep on, don't you think you finna keep on and then it get down to the bottom, and I'm still just scraping. Anyway, so it nipped me just a little bit. I washed it and cleaned it off here, and this is what I wanted. Actually, you see about the size right here is what I wanted. So you don't want it too thick, but also not too small. And the first ones I put at the bottom, the second ones I put at the top, and it worked out perfectly. So as long as they're not really, really, really thick. Now I'm gonna season this. I'm gonna put a little onion powder, garlic powder if you have it. I recommend putting it on there. I put a little adobo seasoning. I am gonna season it because you want your seasonings to be layered, just not too salty in any one given area, so it can combine together. You'll see at some point in the live or in the video that it melts together and it comes together so well. So I'm seasoning here, and what you want to do is also, stir it around. I'm putting mine in the air fryer. You want to draw out some of the moisture outside of the zucchini. Now, if you want to put yours in the oven, you can. If you don't have an air fryer, that's totally fine. I just put it in there for maybe about 7 minutes. Of course, depending on the thickness that you have the zucchini, you're going to want to monitor it. You don't want it roasted all the way, but you just want to draw out a little bit of the moisture. And then, you can go forward with the recipe. So I'll show you later on what it looks like. I'm about to grate some cheese while we're waiting on that. Now, I can't... When I tell you, I can't believe I had the old-fashioned cheese grater for so long. Y'all make sure y'all go over to chefcarmenhtx.com and purchase your cheese grater. That's my good friend. Let me show you. This is so easy. You put the grater size in that you want, and you snap that to the back of it with the handle, and that's the handle that you're going to be spinning around. Okay? That is the part on the top that pushes down the cheese. This is the best feature to me. It has a lock feature, so it will not be all over the place on your cabinet. So it locks it to the cabinet, and you don't have to worry about it wiggling around. Amazing feature. My friend Chef Carmen, and her website again is chefcarmenhtx.com. Baby, this is the cheese grater. I wish I had a cheese grater a long time ago. You put the cheese in the top, you just spin it around and it grates. There's no whole bunch of noise. There is just the grated cheese. I am blending mozzarella with Parmesan. The traditional recipe just calls for mozzarella, which to me has no flavor. I would suggest mixing the mozzarella with the Parmesan. This is what I was using before. So this was my cheese grater. Now I know some of y'all are using this, and this is what I grew up with, so I've seen this. But listen, it's time to get rid of these things, baby. It's new appliances in this. Matter of fact, get this out of my house. Get it out of my damn house. I can't believe I've been dealing with this long, baby. Get it out. I'm ready for the new. I'm so glad I have my product. And if y'all don't head over to chefcarmenhtx.com, she is offering 30% off. That is 30% off of all of her products. The cheese grater you saw me use, her salt and pepper grinders, the knife you saw me use, the spoon set you will see me use, cutting board aprons, everything is 30% off. Head over there while that code is still active. The code is on the run because apparently they say we all going to jail. But anyway, go ahead and put that ricotta. Now, I don't know for you, those of you all who say you don't like ricotta, if you put it in lasagna, to me it's really, really good. Now, I don't know if you want to get a spoon and eat it out the container. But go ahead and layer that zucchini at the bottom. I promise you when this is all over, it's going to mesh together, bake together. It's going to be goodness, and you will not miss the pasta. Go ahead and layer that bottom layer. Now, I have seen some people put a bottom layer of meat sauce. I just want to put my bottom layer of zucchini. So put that at the bottom. If you want to put your meat sauce at the bottom, you can do you. I'm going to make a 2-layer lasagna. So however you want to layer yours, that is fine. It's all going to go in there, come out the same. I am going to use this Chef Carmen HTX spoon set, this particular spatula to go ahead and layer my lasagna. So I'm putting that right on top. My meat sauce is going right on top. And I'm going to smooth that out and start to get this layer together. Now, I used a pound of meat, but you know, a fourth of a pound of sausage, a fourth of a pound of ground beef. You can put more meat if you want. This is about how it looks when you put the half a pound combined. Ricotta cheese, I just simply put it in a bowl. Some recipes call for oil in it. I guess it depends on how stiff your ricotta cheese is. This one wasn't stiff, it didn't need any oil at all. If you have a ricotta cheese that's really stiff, you may want to loosen it up a little bit with olive oil. You're gonna smooth that all over the top of your meat sauce and get it in the corners and the crannies and all of that. So I ended up putting a little more than this and smooth it all over the top. You're gonna be repeating these steps, but when we finish with this, we're gonna put our cheese. Now remember, I mixed mozzarella and also Parmesan cheese. I mixed that together. Most of the recipes call for mozzarella by itself. I don't feel like mozzarella has any flavor or not that much of a flavor. So I personally mix mine with another cheese. In this case, I chose to use Parmesan. So go ahead and put that on top of the ricotta cheese. Now, baby, I'm gonna tell you one thing about me in that kitchen. I'm gonna make a mess. I will be in your kitchen and make a whole mess. But I bet you my food be good. Anyway, go ahead and put that cheese on top. We're gonna recreate this. We're gonna make that second layer with the zucchini. And go ahead and put that zucchini on top of the cheese. Just like this. Just like that. So go ahead and layer it up. Now this is the zucchini that was a little thicker. And it turned out perfectly overall. So you can see how thick you want it. Don't have it too thick though. I'll try to go back to that, Madeline, to see what the thickness was that was on it, but you want it fairly thin. Not too thin, but definitely not too thick. Layer that meat sauce back on top of that. Guess what? We're coming back in with the ricotta cheese. And we're almost done. We're almost about to put this bad boy on. Put that ricotta cheese on top, spread it over. Make sure you get it in the corners. Spread it all across the town. Once you spread that across, you're gonna go ahead and go back on top of that with the mixture of cheese. For me again, mozzarella and Parmesan. Go ahead and go back on top of that with that mixture. And I know we'll have the people, baby, listening and looking from left to right, right to left. Baby, when I tell you, I've washed my hand multiple times during this. I've washed and sanitized the counter multiple times during this. I am clean as I cook, but I do make a mess, so just to be clear. So anyway, this is the layer that we're coming on top with the mozzarella and Parmesan. You do want to get a nice layer of cheese on the top because this is going to be your presentation. This is going to make a crust, especially those edges. You want those edges nice and crispy. Make sure you get you some cheese over there in those edges because it will make a difference in the long run. So I'm just getting that cheese distributed throughout on top, patting it down so nothing is kind of not falling off. There I go making a mess again. I'm gonna make a mess, I promise you. But go ahead and layer that cheese. We are gonna garnish the top a little bit, mostly for presentation, but also I didn't really add any onions to it, so I'm gonna add some chives to the top as well as some parsley. It ended up looking really good, and it added some extra flavor with those chives as well. So, baby, I was shaking this, and it wasn't shaking, so I just opened that thing and put it on the top because that shaker wasn't shaking it. So put that parsley on the top if you want that presentation. It did make a very big difference as far as how it came out looking. These are the chives that I'm putting on top as well. And we're really almost about to put this in. So sprinkle your chives, or whatever you choose to put on top. For me, it was the chives and also the parsley. And once we're done with that, we're gonna go ahead and cover it with foil because we want it to steam just a little bit. So I would say I cooked it for about 40 minutes. I would say cook it half of that time, and I cook mine in the air fryer. Cook it 20 minutes covered, and I would uncover it the other 20 minutes, okay? Cover 20 minutes, uncover it the next 20 minutes. And within that last 20 minutes, if you want to brown the top, you can put your broil on, or the air fryer settings in this case, so it can brown the top. But it cooked perfectly. Actually, this is what it looks like boiling and bubbling inside of the air fryer. And when I tell you, if you can smell the aroma coming out of this air fryer into this kitchen, baby, boiling, bubbly goodness. You will not miss a pasta, baby. I ain't gonna lie to you. You ain't gonna miss no pasta. Boiling, bubbling goodness. This is how it turned out. Baby, it tastes better than it looks. All I can tell you is it tastes better than it looks. I let it, well, actually, you'll see the steam coming off. I should have let it cool off a little more. I'm trying to show you the size of all of that goodness baking together. It is so good, y'all. Matter of fact, I had this yesterday and I just actually had it today. That's why today is 2 and 3 of keto. Because listen, this is a lot of servings. I'm going to end up freezing some. It freezes very well. So if you don't eat it all, freeze it. And it's a good go-to so you can never say you don't have anything to eat and that you're hungry. Breaking on in this thing, I should have let it settle or cool off a little more because you'll see the steam here. So it's not as solid as it would be if I let it cool off. Y'all know how you go in that lasagna too soon. Maybe y'all see that steam coming up. But baby, when I say good, I don't know what to tell you. I mean good. The sausage is a key. The sauce, you don't, well, with that sauce, you don't want an excess sauce. So that sauce, 1 jar is enough if you're trying to be low carb. It's gonna melt together and form together perfectly. Yes, I have a paper plate. Because baby, if I'm at home, that's what I would normally be using. Although I probably should have used a real plate for presentation. Make sure you're following me on Facebook as well as YouTube. Under the channel name, We Can All Do Better. We will be having more keto videos. Stay tuned for day 4 and beyond. We're gonna lose this weight. Baby, I also have other content on my page as well that you may enjoy or may not. But a variety of things. So make sure you are locked in with me. I look forward to seeing y'all on the next video. And y'all have a good night.